yeah? I'm running to immigration because I'm not going back to England, bro. Because the Prem's done. It's finished, bro. ISAK verbal agreement.
We are cooked. We're cooked. If Liverpool get Isak, why are we doing pre-season, bro? Why are we talking about 21? You lot, I'm ready to say right now, I would rather Arsenal complete the phase. Arsenal complete the phase, win the league. Glockerez, whoever, Chelsea, rise. Isak to Liverpool. So you're telling me it's a Florian Wirtz, Ekitike, Isak? Nah. Virgil van Dijk and them man there. Nah. I forgot Mo Salah. I'm dying. I forgot Cody Gakpo. Cody. You're talking about, you know when they really try to, I used to do them jokes and say, talk about the greatest team assembled. Killing me. They're killing me. Liverpool, you're taking the piss. This Coutinho money has stretched. The bank of Coutinho is going too far. It's biblical settings, bro. I don't even think, again, you know when Jesus did the water to wine thing, yeah? That was this is an arduous task, and it's for the whole wedding. This miracle feels like it's more serious. This football miracle, bro. What's going on over there? I told you right now, we need people to pull up and check Liverpool right now. Write this down. I don't even have my Jurgen Klopp teeth. Oh, there I do. We can't compete. We'll never be able to be on the top level because all the other teams. Jurgen, excuse my language. But I'm furious, bro. I've had enough. Jurgen, you lied. Where did these finances come from? And then they're gonna tell me, we're just spending the money, the Chiesa the money. Piss off. There you go. That one transfer window that you weren't involved in, like you didn't spend in them other times as well. They've been spending, bro. These guys have convinced us that they bought nobody. They've been buying. Yes, they've been buying correctly, but they've been buying all the same. I don't know what's going on. This could be the John Joe Shelby money, bro.
Show today as Isak agrees personal terms with Liverpool and more comes to light on what Newcastle were actually doing with this, because apparently Isak told them during last season that he wanted to go. So all this late deal and change of mind, apparently Newcastle already knew this, and it explains why Liverpool probably were always looking to do a deal. So we'll delve into that. Also, Newcastle, come on. I mean, Man United are going to get Sesko now. I mean, how many more rejections do you want? I mean, what is it on Tinder? Swipe left? I mean, they're just getting swipe rights. I don't know. They're getting rejected anyway. People see Newcastle and they swipe right. I'm probably getting that completely wrong. But someone tell me. Anyway, it'd be a good joke if I knew. Obviously, Mrs. Goldbridge, I've not been on Tinder. Or any other app. But let's go. Liverpool, Sesko, no. Isak, yes. Plettigol, Florian Plettenberg, Sky Germany, is saying that personal terms are agreed between Liverpool and Isak. Now, Fabrizio has confirmed that that's never been a problem. It's now about the fee that Newcastle want. But I think the most interesting story here is actually coming out from Chris Waugh, who is a Newcastle correspondent for The Athletic, so not biased towards Liverpool in any way, shape or form. And he says, in conjunction with George Culkin, it is also true that people familiar with Isak's thinking say that none of this should be a surprise to Newcastle, and that they were told repeatedly that last season would be the player's final one at St James's Park, that he wished to move to a club where he could win the biggest trophies. It is true that some are saying there is no turning back. So what that update from a good Newcastle source is basically Newcastle knew this. They knew this going into the summer that Isak wanted to move, and they knew that last season was his last season. And yet we've had this game of, oh, you know, we're not going to sell him, he's not for sale. And of course he's got a contract. I heard Simon Jordan go talking about contracts the other day, but yeah, people have got contracts, of course they have. But if a player says they want to leave as a football club, you either get on the bus and cause no fuss, or you put the handbrake on. And look, Newcastle are going to try and get Wizza from Brentford. It's the same thing. Oh, let him go, let him go. I mean, it's horses for courses, isn't it? So
Alexander Isak Saka has just gotten better. There are leaks and talks about agreement and him only wanting Liverpool and him actually disappearing from Newcastle and going AWOL for them. But before we talk about it, before we talk about Fabrizio Romano Bomba, that he's retweeted that Liverpool have reached an agreement with Alexander Isak. Make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel, guys, if you're new, and turn on the notification bell, of course, and let me know in the comment section what do you think about what I'm saying. It is reported that Liverpool have already agreed a contract with Alexander Isak until 2031. Of course, there are people that say that Liverpool do not have the right to talk to the player. Newcastle have not allowed them to talk to Alexander Isak yet, which is true as well. I'm not going to deny this, but we know that players talk, that players' agents talk to football clubs. And Alexander Isak has made his desire clear that he wants to join Liverpool. We can argue, is it right? Is it wrong that he's trying to join Liverpool, that he's forcing his way out? The reality is that Alexander Isak wants to win trophies now. He wants a club that is willing to compete for the league and the Champions League. Newcastle, yes, they play in the Champions League, but how far until they're actually real contenders for the Champions League? Probably like 5 years until they win the Champions League, maybe 3 years until they actually try to compete and win the Premier League. Yes, they won a Carabao Cup, but that is not enough. The guy is 25. He wants to compete for the league, he wants to win the league, he wants to compete for Ballon d'Or.
We are back with another video. Yeah, it's happening. I've conceded. I've given in, and reality is fully hit me now. It slapped me in the face, and yeah, Liverpool fans, you may be getting your player, and yeah. Oi, yo, people, man, a bid is imminent. A bid is imminent. Things are happening. Liverpool Football Club are about to bid for Isak. Isak only wants Liverpool. He doesn't want Saudi. He doesn't want Chelsea. He doesn't want United. Put a little cheeky plug in there. But you know what I mean? He doesn't want anyone else there. He only wants Liverpool. Why, Isak? Why? Liverpool are creating a dynasty up front. That front three, front four, whatever you want to call it, man, it is going to be devastating. Pace, power, skill, goals. Deep it, people, man. Man like Craig Hope, reporter for Newcastle, he should be called Craig No Hope, because he is bringing out news after news that doesn't fill anyone with hope. Honestly, Craig, man, change your name, bro, because this season you give Newcastle no hope. Always bad news. And it's been further been helped by the sale of Luis Diaz. How have Liverpool sold this guy for 75 million euros? How? I mean, listen, he's on low wages. I think he's on about 45,000 a week. Absolutely criminal for a player who's given so much to Liverpool.
Piece of business. I really, really do. But give me your views, give me your opinions in the comment sections below. Now, on top of that, look, I want to speak about Liverpool. We mentioned it the other day when Sasha Tavolieri broke the news that he broke the news that Liverpool agreed personal terms. Then went a bit quiet, people played it down. Now it's been stated by Plattenberg that there's personal terms are agreed in principle. That was then retweeted and shared by Fabrizio Romano. And I think Liverpool fans really feel that this deal is coming, is very, very close indeed. And I'm starting to see the mainstream media really attack Liverpool. Why haven't they got a bid done yet? This isn't fair on Newcastle. Why are they dragging their heels? They're doing... I think they're going at Liverpool because Liverpool had a brilliant summer, so they've got to try and find a way to knock them down a peg or two. But they're using similar tactics that they use with Man United. Why don't they just hurry up and get the deal done? I don't understand what they're doing, and it's so obvious what they're doing. But they're disrespecting football fans again. Liverpool are getting everything tied up so they don't get into a long, drawn-out public bidding war. They're selling players to help balance the books, which again will not be discussed in terms of how could they spend 300, 400 million. Well, they're probably going to raise anywhere to between 100 and 200 million pound in sales. Now, I don't use net spend when it comes to players. So I won't look at a player that's bought for 100 million in 2020 and when he sold for 60 million in 2025 go, well, there's a net loss of 40 million. That isn't how clubs buy and account for players. They're seen as an asset during their time here, but they're amortized. And it's all the profit and loss is based on how much they owe essentially on that player that year, what they're either depreciating, paying off the asset via amortization or physically paying out cash wise for him still. So by the time you get into your fifth year, most of these deals are paid off. Therefore, if you sell him for 60 million and you don't owe any money on him, you don't need to depreciate him anymore, you don't need to amortize him anymore, then you're making a £60 million profit on that transaction because you don't owe anything. But when it comes to a direct summer in itself, again, I don't use the term net spend, but if you spend 400 million, but you bring 200 million in income, in terms of on your profit and loss, which is what it's all about, you're only spending, there's only going to be a loss of 200 million because the revenue has gone up by an additional 200 million pound through the sale of players. So it's very, very important to remember that. And I think the Liverpool are being attacked. I think they're being dragged over the coals because nobody saw this coming. And nobody saw this coming because the same media lied to us. The same media kept on telling Porkies that Isak would never push for a move. There's no intentions of letting him go. Don't believe all the nonsense stories that Liverpool want him. It's a non-starter, 3 years left on his deal. And you guys in the comments will write even more about that than I've mentioned. Turns out now that Isak was told that he could go, or that Isak told people that he was going to be leaving. Liverpool have been working on this deal now for a number of months in terms of getting the player lined up. They obviously didn't know whether it would go through because Newcastle United could do what they're doing now, which is try and muddy the waters, push out lies via the media. And I do think that Newcastle have damaged their relationship with a number of journalists who now, these journalists now look like idiots because they've pushed out stories that have turned out not to be true. And Newcastle are going through a bit of amateur hour. And my mind has kind of changed towards them a little bit. I sort of viewed them losing Isak as something that wouldn't derail them too much. Not because of the player, but I looked at them as a very well-run club. And well-run clubs make good decisions. They have contingency plans in place. My mind is starting to change on that, based on what I'm now learning, based on what I'm now seeing. It isn't just a genius move by Liverpool. They've also destabilized. And whether you like hearing this or not, it's the truth. They have destabilized an upstart. They have destabilized a club that sees itself as the next big thing. It wants to overtake everybody.
In Chicago, I'm running to the embassy, yeah? I'm running to immigration because I'm not going back to England, bro. Because the Prem's done. It's finished, bro. Isak, verbal agreement. Verbal agreement with Liverpool. It's happening, bro. It's happening. Let me stop running before I get too tired. I can't even do this video. It's flipping happening, man. Newcastle United, man. You're supposed to be a big football club. And you man are getting bullied and patted down where people are saying to you, we're leaving with something. Every time Newcastle United, you got one job. You got all this money. There's only one United. They're the real United. We got Bruno Guimaraes. We got Joe Linton. We got Isak. Well, you ain't got him no more. Liverpool. Oh my days. I'm not coming back. Not even that I was even going to win the Prem, because obviously Man United are way off that. But the fact that Liverpool have Isak's got a verbal agreement, according to Florian Plettenberg, on a deal at Liverpool till 2031. Oh, sugar. Not even going to swear up right now. Oh, it's got me walking into trees and everything. What am I doing? What am I doing, man? Nah. Liverpool, man. They're just when you think, like, you just think they can't do any more. You think, Ross, you think they can't do any more. And they keep finding ways to do more. Every single time. Every single time. And you know what the worst thing is? The worst thing is, if you're trying to come with an angle to diss what they're doing, yeah, you're just a hater. I have to say it. Man United bias aside, if you're trying to come up with any form of bullshit about why Liverpool shouldn't be doing this, or how can they afford this, or this, that, they are actually spending. No. You have to stop right there, brother. You have to stop right there, because they are moving mad. There's playground bullies, yeah? And then there's real G's. There's real gangsters. That's what Liverpool are on. Liverpool are on this, like, we don't care who you play for, you're coming to us. We don't care how much you charge us, we'll slap it down. Do you understand what type of flex that is?